Hello and welcome to this online event. My name is Carl Spalding. I'm going to give you a quick corporate overview of Graitec. Start off with our mission statement. So who is Graitec? What are we about? Graitec is a global AEC solution specialist and developer. We provide dedicated localized BIM software, technologies, expertise and services to maximize productivity, efficiency and performance across the entire structural industry. Let's take a look at some key facts. So Graitec have been going for over 28 years, which makes us one of the longest standing independent software developers in the structural industry. We have over 200 employees worldwide, 40% of which support our research and development team. We have key subsidiaries around the world, and where we don't have an office, we have a network of resellers, all of which support our 40,000 plus users worldwide, delivering an unprecedented 5 million plus projects. In a time of austerity, it's pleasing for us to report that we've had an exceptional growth over the last 5-7 years, and that's testimony to the technology that we provide, but also the services and the value that we deliver to our customers. Graitec are also one of Autodesk's largest ISV partners, independent software vendors. This means in addition to our own technology, our analysis and design solutions that we develop and deliver globally, we also develop applications on top of Autodesk's leading BIM solutions such as Revit and Advance Design, allowing us to deliver exclusive services worldwide. Now let's take a brief look at some of the projects our customers have used our technology to help them deliver. We have commercial structures, buildings, hospitals, fire stations. We've got ice rinks, schools, stadiums. Another area that we're particularly strong is in the oil and gas, offshore, petrochem, pharmaceutical. We've got a good customer base in the material handling and mining industries, towers, cranes, quarries, and of course we're very strong in bridges. We've got our own analysis and design software in there, as well as the steel software to deliver the detail, plate work and boiler making as it was in those days. Mezzanine floors is a big area where distribution centers are popping up, large warehouses, but also to make space in areas you've already got. Miscellaneous stuff like stages and bus shelters and stations. We've got a very strong customer base in the architectural metalwork, using our technology to create some very iconic projects indeed. BIM is very much in the detail, and it's important to understand that workflow. So here's a good example. On the left hand side you can see the analytical model. In the middle you can see what we would refer to as a descriptive model, and then on the right hand side an as-built or detailed model that could actually be used to construct the project with. Taking that one step further, if you take a slightly closer look, you can see the analytical model is a stick frame. The descriptive model would include other services, perhaps a ground model as well. We're not showing that in this example, but it would bring other industry or disciplines together. And then on the right hand side you can see hand railing right through to the base plates, nuts and bolts. So to break that down, you've got function, optimization of the structure, design of the structure and proof that it works, through to describing how the services come together, coordinating different disciplines and sharing that information. And then on the right hand side, the fabrication, the build, the management and connection of that through the phasing and lotting and so on. And in this particular example, we're looking at the interoperability and the sharing of an intelligent model between Advanced Design, Revit, and Advanced Steel. Taking that one step further, of course, we're not limited to just one type of technology or industry type. And here's some examples of some of the technology that we integrate with, looking at the structural industry, but also looking more into the manufacturing, plant, process, and of course some of the coordination and collaboration software and mobile computing with Autodesk 360. I hope that overview was useful, allowing you to understand more about what Graitec offer and the technology and services that we deliver. But now that's enough for me. I'm going to hand over to our technical engineer to continue with the demonstration. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Fox and I am Support Manager at Graitec UK. Before we start, I just want to say that we're using GoToWebinar and everyone is muted at the moment, and also comments are not allowed during the webinar. So if you do have any questions or want to get in contact with Graitec, you can do so with the contact details that will be shown at the end of the webinar. So now I'm going to give you a brief overview of the SuperSTRESS side. So we're going to start with a job here in SuperSTRESS. So this could have been started through an import of a DXF file or just started completely within SuperSTRESS. The first thing I'm going to do is just add in some supports, some quite basic graphical functionality of SuperSTRESS that we're doing here. Hopefully everyone is already familiar with this side of the software. I'm going to add in a little bit of loading as well, so this is more on the analysis side, and we're going to put in self-weight. So we're just going to add that to all of the members, and as you can see, it very quickly can be done using the graphical interface. So once all the loading has been applied, we're going to just run the analysis through and get some of the results out and have a look at the results. So that's all the loading been added, and now we're going to go through to the results side and just have a quick overview of that. But before we do that, we're just going to just want to give you an idea of everything that's in the job. As you can see there, you do have supports and sections that are in the job. Now these will be taken through with the BIM file that we're going to export, so it's very important to notice it's not just the geometrical model itself, it is the sections, the materials, the loading. That is the whole part of the BIM strategy. So as you can see here, we've got some results on the job. We're not going to go too much into the detail here. What I wanted to do is give you an overview of how BIM or BrIM should function. And so it means the taking of a job from one software package to another with no data re-entry, and therefore a reduction in errors and time spent recreating the job. So obviously some of the functionality that you should be already familiar with in SuperSTRESS. We've got some structure sets I'm creating here just to be able to filter the graphical view and the results as well, and get lots of different filtered and specific results out, so you don't have to be looking at the whole model. So you can see there we can just look at the deflection or the bending moment for just the arch, and you can do that for any particular part of the structure. And I'm just going to filter the results. Not doing it for the current structure set, we need to do it for the saved structure set there, and there you can see the results have come up. So you can filter those results, maximum values and envelope, etc, etc. Along with all of these results, you can also put them into a report in exactly the same way. So I can pick out any of the sections for the results, for the report, and include the filtered tables in there. Along with tabular results from SuperSTRESS, obviously we can do saved views as well, so we probably need to save something a bit more interesting than just that part of the model. So let's put on some results and look at from the side view and just create a saved view there. And obviously we can include that saved view inside of the report. And the report can be exported as a PDF or a docx as well. So notice I'm using version 9 of SuperSTRESS here. That's just been released, so hopefully you've all updated. So now I'm going to export this model as a GTC file. That's our internal file type. You could use IFC as well from other programs, but our internal file type is the GTC. So from here, I'm going to open up or switch to Advanced Design, and I'm going to import the SuperSTRESS model that I've just exported. So just import that model direct, and once it loads, you do need to map the materials. Sometimes the material name could be anything, you could write anything in for that material name, so you do need to identify it, because Advanced Design has a library of materials, unlike SuperSTRESS. And there you can see the whole job come through as is, exactly the same as you saw it in SuperSTRESS. With Advanced Design we have a bit more functionality. You've got a nice rendered view there that's always being shown, but you can turn it on and off to view the stick model if you want to. You've got properties on the right hand side, which you can change the sections, or you can also change the eccentricity, add haunches, change the orientation. It's all done from the properties on the right hand side. Similarly for the self-weight, as you notice, the self-weight has come through. It's come through as a gravity load. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a wind wall, which is similar to the SuperSTRESS's area load area. And what we're going to do is, so we define that as an area, and then we're going to load this bridge onto that. We're going to load the wind directly onto that wind wall with a 5 kilonewton per meter squared typical pedestrian loading. So we create the live load case, and as you notice in here you do have other load cases like wind and snow and temperature that are automatic and can be applied using Advanced Design, so another enhancement over SuperSTRESS. So we're just going to put on -5 kilonewtons per meter squared onto the whole of the deck. And as you can see, again, it's a very graphical program, Advanced Design, so you can see it, you can click on the loading and you can adjust it very quickly. Also you can click on the supports at the end. The properties are consistent throughout every object. Now we're going to just add in a combination. If we had have added the combination into SuperSTRESS it would have come through, but we didn't, so we're doing it on the Advanced Design side. And now I'm going to run the analysis through. Just going to do a simple analysis on this using the dead load, live load and combination load cases that we put on. You notice there it is going to report on any errors or problems that it's found, and I think there are a couple of wind walls that aren't exactly snapped to the structure, but that's not important for now. And we can turn off the mesh and then show our results, which is done through the results toolbar. So very quickly you can have a look at your deflected shape, and you're getting your scale there, your colour palettes. You can change the way all of this is viewed in Advanced Design if you want to. You do it through contours, or you don't have to show the deflected shape. But you can do very similar functionality as well to SuperSTRESS, where you can filter areas of the structure, and we can show different results on different areas. For example, your bending moment again. Just a little bit more graphical than SuperSTRESS on this side of it, using the colour palette mode. We can put on the values onto the screen as well. Just going to put the scale up a bit on those, and then we can take a picture of the screen and save it for our report side. So let's get up some other results like the shear force here. We've got the FY shear force, and I'm going to save that as a view. It's added it onto the pilot on the left hand side, notice there, and I can quickly go back to any other previously saved views that I've created and just switch between them. With Advanced Design you do have a very easy user interface, so I can just click on any of the members and right click and say I want to get exact results, and I can see a nice curve of all the results that are on that member according to whichever load case. And again, obviously I can filter it down by particular load cases. I can get values at exact points, and I can have complete control over this graph and how it looks and how it will appear in the report when I bring it in. So you can see there I can obviously filter down the load cases as well if I wanted to go any further. It is very graphical, very CAD based Advanced Design, so I've just gone back to the input mode. So you can notice that you have grip, grip points at the ends of the members. I can pick up a member, move it, and that's the same with every case, or loads or supports or anything similar. So I'm just going to go back to the results here and generate a report. Just going to delete the default report we've got there, and I'm going to add in some more information into there. So we're going to put a cover sheet and some of our results. We're just going to do envelope of results, which means we get maximum values only and not very long tables of numbers. and we're also going to put in the two views that we've saved and the graph that we've saved. And we just generate this. Again, you've got the option here to generate to a Word document, a PDF, Excel. You can export them to Excel if you want to as well for further post-processing if that's how you work. And so you can see here we've just generated it to a Word document. We're just viewing it in the Word viewer, but obviously it can be created as a docx as well and taken into Word, and it's all there. So any adjustments that you would have made to the model, you can very quickly just go regenerate my report, and it regenerates all of the values, updates everything. So all of the reports information is stored there, and they are literally stored as JPEGs or doc files, RTF files, and you can always view them afterwards if you want to. Okay, so again we're going to proceed from here. We're going to export another GTC file, GTCX this time, and which has more information contained within it, like 3D solids can be contained within GTCX. It has more information than what you're seeing here. And we're going to open it up inside of Advanced Steel, which is our steel detailing and fabrication software. So the same principle applies. I can import the model from the GTC file that I have just exported from Advanced Design, and it should come through exactly how we saw it in the previous model. One slight difference here is obviously be aware we are using from Advanced Design we have the analysis model, and Advanced Steel is more concerned with the descriptive model, and there is a difference between the two, and so really the center lines have to match for everything, but as we brought it in from Advanced Design, you should see that that does come through very nicely. The black flags on there are load points, so in Advanced Steel you can actually design the connections, and it takes through the loads from Advanced Design. So for this example, I'm just going to put on a simple joint onto one of these connections. Obviously all of them can be done, they can be copied across. All the fabrication drawings and GAs can be created from here as well. So notice there the joint goes immediately on, and we have a dialog box coming up which you can go through all of the details of that joint, modify the bolts, bolt spacing, plate thickness, and any of the rest of the geometry of that joint. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually make a change to the sections, because these are still our sections direct from the library. We're going to change them to a much smaller section and synchronize the model back with the Advanced Design model that we previously imported. So what I'm going to do is, instead of exporting the whole job, I don't need to do that, I can just export the changes. First of all, I do need to number the job, which is just a simple process in Advanced Steel. So I'm just going to number all the elements in the job, and then I'm going to export just the changed elements. So I'm just going to export them through exactly the same interface. So that I'm going through the GTC export, but now it's a smaller file, it's not the entire job. And inside of Advanced Design, I'm going to synchronize with that export that I just made. So we've got import, we've got export, and we have synchronize. And this is consistent through all of our programs, and in fact with the Revit plugin as well. So I'm just going to synchronize with that model, that GTC that's changed. Obviously everything it's saying is deleted, but that's because I've only exported 2 of the sections. So I'm just going to filter this out to say show me only what has been changed, what's been amended, and you can see that there are 2 sections, so I can highlight both of those and right click and accept those changes, and obviously you can control exactly what you're accepting and not accepting at this point. Then I'm going to apply. We're not going to keep revision control there, and I'm just going to say yes to that, and immediately you can see on the screen there, I'll just zoom in a bit to that the change has happened, and if I select those members, they are the members which I changed to in Advanced Steel. So as I say, the same principle applies to lots of other programs, and we have our own Revit plugin, so we can import a GTC file directly into Revit. So I'm going to do the same, and this is a free plugin that you can download from our website, and I'm going to import the whole job that we exported from Advanced Design earlier. And so once that's been imported, we have a look at the 3D view, and everything is there, all of the sections are in place, and in fact it even has the loading on there as well. And again, you can synchronize with Revit if you wanted to, if you made any changes. So if someone had made some changes, they send out another GTC file of the changes, you synchronize it with your model. What I'm also showing on the screen now is the Revit analysis model, which is also taken through. But more often than not, you want to probably view the full realistic model inside of Revit, and there you can see all of the details have come through exactly how you've seen them in the Advanced Design, original SuperSTRESS, and through to Advanced Steel for the detailing. So thank you for your time today. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. If you do need any more information, please contact Graitec on the information that you can see on the screen now. Also, if you want to get more information about Advanced Steel or other products, please visit the many videos we have on our YouTube page, which you can also find on the screen now, or just search YouTube for Graitec UK. My name's Kevin Fox, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.